Hey everybody, welcome back to Gun Tote Minnesotan. My name is Andrew and today I'm going to tell you about a product sent out to the channel by Enjo Sports. This is one of their brands called Nutrek, and these are some binoculars that they make called the Quest 10 by 42s. I would do an unboxing for you, but I think I'll just put this aside and tell you about the product. Inside, you're going to find your lens cleaning cloth and a manual. Don't get rid of those. Those are usually important, especially if you've never set up something like a diopter, which I'm going to tell you about later. Those are important pieces, but I want to tell you about what's inside of this. So you do get a carrying case. It's a padded carrying case. You could either belt carry or neck carry. It does have a slider on it for adjusting and carrying for different lengths of people. I'm going to put that aside because you're probably more interested in the binos. The binos themselves do have a neck lanyard. I've already been using mine quite a bit, and I really like this neck lanyard. I've already attached it. It is a neoprene style, which is very important. Whether you're in cold weather or warm weather, these are typically the best materials to use because it's comfortable. If you're kind of warm and sweaty down in the south in the summer, carrying around binoculars, you want, even with a 10 by, you want a nice padded neck lanyard like this, and it's also not gonna make you sweat. It's not gonna be itchy like a Cordura fabric would. These are very comfortable, and it seems to be put together pretty well, so I like the neck lanyard. Another thing about the lanyard, the carry strap, is the fact that it does connect to your next feature here, which are your rubberized caps, your lens caps. These can lace through, and one of the features you have on the caps is a dual position for threading through. A good pair of binoculars is going to have integral strap lugs built into the body of the binoculars, which this does, again, on both sides, so you can keep everything together. And I don't know about you, but when I have a pair of lens covers that are not attached, I tend to lose them a lot, or I put them in a pocket, I set them down somewhere, and then they're gone. I like having them attached to the lanyard itself. I find that to be the most reliable way to actually use a lanyard in collaboration with your covers. On the other end, you can see that there are some flip down covers, which is the right orientation. You want them to flip down and out of the way. These are also rubberized. They do come off if you find that you need to take them off and you want to go lighter weight or they're just in the way for whatever reason. One thing I like about this style of cover though is that they are clip in. They actually clip into the body of the binoculars. And so instead of clipping on and over, sometimes that can be a little difficult on polymer or magnesium body binocular barrels. They just don't want to clip on that well when they're clip overs unless it's a harder plastic. So these being a softer rubber actually works out really well because they can clip in, and they actually do have a little bit of a tab to grab the inside of the barrel on the objective lens. Another really important feature on binoculars is the ability to stabilize them with a tripod or a monopod of some sort. And this has a tripod adapter socket. All you need to do is thread out the plastic thread protector. And when that comes out, it's going to reveal your 1/4 inch typical thread. For almost every binocular socket I've seen, it's going to fit right into that. And that's awesome because it allows you to have a higher stability factor on something like a pair of 10Xs that you see here. Going on a tripod, if you're birding or if you're spotting at a competition, is pretty necessary for a stability factor, especially at closer distances. And that will adapt onto just about all of them that I've ever seen. Going to the other side, now you have your actual focus wheel. And this is very, very important. It's important to know about because you're going to use that as well as your diopter to get these set up for your eye at whatever you're looking at. I'll talk more about that feature in a later part of the video when we're actually outside trying it out. I'm going to show you how I set up the diopter and focus wheel and how they navigate and work. But I would tell you right now, I'm really happy with the resistance level that I find in the focus wheel. If a focus wheel is too smooth or too light, going back and forth, it can be easily bumped and it can just be frustrating. Sometimes you'll find that a really loose focus wheel could actually even just be so hypersensitive that you can't seem to get the focus right where you want it to be. But a proper resistance on a focus wheel like this will give you the ability to fine-tune your focus to a very, very high level. And I'm happy to see an appropriate level of resistance on this pair of binoculars. Lastly, again, for those of you with interpupillary distance issues, if you wear glasses, it's going to be very important to set up your diopter with the standoff for the eye cups here. You need to look at your manual to understand that, but you're going to start with them all the way together and use the hinge to find the appropriate distance and then leave it right there, setting it up for your eye. I will tell you that when it comes to hinges for binoculars, it's another area where if there's not enough resistance, they tend to fold too easily. And it can be really frustrating to get a pair of binoculars to set right where they want to be or where they need to be to keep them accurate for your eyes and comfortable so you're not fighting the lenses or fighting the image. And I find that this level of resistance is actually very good. This is up there with some of the more expensive binoculars. For a pair that's under $600, I'm pretty happy with the features I found so far.